Hi there. Welcome to the second wine we're going to taste in Aaron's Wine Talk. Today we're going to talk about a beautiful chablis, but a chablis Premier Cru, which is much more of a better quality than a normal chablis. Yes, as usual, we're going to talk about the location, the climate, the soils, the grape used to make this wine, the viticulture techniques used in the vineyard, and the vinification techniques used in the winery to make such a grand wine. This is a fantastic medium-bodied style of wine, very refreshing. I've never tasted this wine before. This is my first time ever. I was passing by in St. Paul's Bay with my car to do a very important errand. Then I immediately came back because obviously of the lockdown that we have, the partial lockdown. And I passed by Piscopo. And the Piscopo supermarket has a very nice retail shop over there. And I decided to pick a Chablis. And I opted for the Chablis Premier Cru. Yes, the wines, I buy them, and I treat them here for the Aaron's Wine Talk blog, and I describe them according to my desires, according to the way I know how to do it. Yeah, and this is a way of informing people on how this wine is made and how quality can be done to the wines. So, this wine is located in the region of Burgundy in France, in the center part of France, center to the east part. And the Chablis is a district within the region of Burgundy. The French call it La Bourgogne, which is on the north part of Burgundy. It is quite far from the region area, and it's more closer to Paris rather than to Burgundy itself, strangely enough. But this area is known for growing the white grape Chardonnay. 100% will be Chardonnay, mainly for Chablis wines. There are 4 appellation levels. We saw in wine number 1 the appellation of Bordeaux. But here we've got 4 different appellations just in one district. There is the Chablis AC, Appellation Contrôlée, Appellation Chablis Contrôlée, and there is also the Petit Chablis Contrôlée. Petit Chablis is an area to the south part of Chablis where the soils differentiate Chablis with Petit Chablis. Chablis is mainly the Kimmeridgian soils. The Kimmeridgian type of soil is the Kimmeridgian era coming from the Jurassic era. This is thousands and thousands of years ago, just before Christ, when the rocks used to form itself and the earth formed itself with time. And the Kimmeridgian clay is very much rich in chalk and limestone marine fossils. So each limestone soils will have an oyster shell just literally inscripted in it, and that will give the quality to Chardonnay. In fact, this wine is totally expressive of terroir characteristics, like the wine we've tasted in wine number 1 in Bordeaux. And you're going to taste the soil. Chardonnay is a very neutral grape. It's not easy to extract fruit and character from a grape like Chardonnay. It's very neutral. You need 2 types of methods in order to extract flavor. You need, first of all, terroir. Good terroir will make a good type of aroma and flavor. And winemaking techniques, like the use of oak, use of oak fermentation, oak maturation, which will give the vanilla flavors in the wine, the use of batonnage, stirring the wine to extract more texture and flavor of yeast and bread in the wine, and also malolactic fermentation, like we saw in wine number 1, it will give the buttery characteristics and creamy characteristics in the wine. But Chablis doesn't deserve winemaking techniques. Chablis deserves the aromas and flavors of the soil, the terroir, the gunflint aromas, and that's coming from the Kimmeridgian clay soils of the northern part in Chablis. The south part, Petit Chablis, is Portlandian clay. So the type of soil is not as good as Kimmeridgian clay, but still it's of a type of different mineral quality, which still is good for a normal type of Chablis. Yeah? But then the 2 most important Chablis of quality in the area is Premier Cru and Grand Cru. Yes, the 4 appellations in all. Chablis AC, Petit Chablis AC, Chablis Premier Cru and Chablis Grand Cru. Together with the Premier Cru appellation and the Grand Cru appellation, there is also the name of the vineyard on the label. And you can see that the area is coming from Vogro. There are in all 40 Premier Crus in Chablis, and one of them is Vogro. These will have more structure, more concentration in the wine, more body, just because of the soil, yeah? And many other viticulture methods which we're going to talk of, yeah? But the most structured wines in Chablis are surely the ones of Grand Cru. They're coming from just one single vineyard within an area. And there are 7 Grand Crus in Chablis. There is an 8th one. It is one half of it is shared in 2 different vineyards within 2 different areas within Chablis. But mainly there are 7 Grand Crus. But talking of this Premier Cru, Vogro is quite interesting. I never tasted this wine. And I literally taste the soil aspect here and the mineral quality coming out. Yeah. So on the climate, it's affected here by a very cold continental climate. Unlike Bordeaux, which was maritime, this is more continental. It means that there's no sea surrounding the region of Chablis. So this is very hot in summer and very cold in winter, but bitterly cold winters, and that's going to affect the acidity in the wine of Chablis. Chardonnay, yes, is a grape that can grow both in cold climates and hot climates. In hot climates like Malta, it will gain less acidity levels but more alcohol. But in a cold area like this, like Chablis, it's going to have much higher levels of acidity. That keeps the wine its longevity. It will be much lighter in body, in style, but in a hot climate, the body will increase together with the alcohol. Yeah. So cold continental climate for Chablis. Yeah. But to grow this grape is not easy in this area, simply because during the 4 seasons, during the vineyard cycle, it suffers a lot from different bad weather. In winter, it starts with winter, where you have the pruning season, and here they suffer from winter freeze. Temperatures reach minus 18 degrees and the vine can die very, very easily. So not easy to grow this grape even in the winter. When spring comes, that is very important for a very good bud burst. The budding time in spring, which is mid-March, late March. And it can suffer from frost, spring frost. And that can be a very big problem to grow this vine. And it won't give you the quality that you need. You need a good bud burst in order to give you good quality for the vintage in autumn. Then you come to summer in June. In June till July, August, you have what we call the flowering period. And when the flower comes out, you have beautiful berries coming out, small berries of Chardonnay, all clustered together, but where acidity will balance out together with the sugars as the grape forms during the Veraison season. The Veraison is when the grapes swell, when the grapes are maturing on the vine and gaining the sugars in order to produce the alcohol levels. And then when we come to the autumn, it is a time of harvest. And then, during the harvest, they suffer from a lot of rain. We're not talking of one-day rain. One-day rain will not be a problem for Chablis, because the next day, if there's the sun will dry the vineyard. Here we're talking of continuous rain for days to come, and rain every day is going to bring about rot, grey rot. We also call it mold. In Maltese, we call it moffa. Yeah, and you don't want that to suffer. There's no heat or sun to dry the vineyard, and therefore rot will appear on the vines, and it will destroy the fruit. And many years, Chablis had to suffer these type of climatic weather patterns, and they were detrimental. 2017 wasn't bad vintage. It has a very good fruit character, both on the nose and the palate, and the acidity combines everything together. How we will see now very soon in the tasting procedure. Yeah. On viticulture, they use type of Guyot system and cordon systems to grow these vines, and they limit the amount of yield to get very good quality. Yeah, and a Premier Cru wine deserves such quality and good viticultural techniques. The yield goes down for Premier Cru and Grand Cru. If you have a Chablis AC, the yields will go up to 60 hectoliters per hectare, even for Petit Chablis. But if you go down towards Premier Cru style of wines, the yield will go down up to 40 hectoliters per hectare, even up to 30 hectoliters per hectare for Grand Cru style of wines. Yeah? So to be able to call it Premier Cru, you have to have the name of the area, which is designated Premier Cru, which are 40 areas, and that is called Vogro. Domaine Ellevin is the owners, their husband and wife, Jean-Pierre and Alec. Actually, there are two guys, Jean-Pierre and Alexandre. They make this wine in conjunction together, and they called it Domaine Ellevin. Let us taste it now very soon, and you will see how good quality these guys make these wines. Vinification wise, in order to retain the flavors of the grape, the wine has to be fermented in cuves, it's called in French, and a cuve is a stainless steel tank. And when you use stainless steel, it retains the flavors of the grape. You can use oak or wood to ferment and mature the wine, but you may ruin its style. So when you get the wine in the glass, you can see that when you smell the wine, you extract that mineral quality that it deserves. If you have oak, the oak can mask that mineral chimerism clay we were talking of, which is very, very important for the style of wine. Remember, Chardonnay is neutral as a variety. It's a non-aromatic variety, which is not easy to extract. And one of the ways of giving flavor to Chardonnay wine is definitely through terroir characteristics. So let us now start to analyze it on appearance, nose, and palate. There is no back label, as you can see. French wines are very, very proud of their wines. You have to know that it's the grape is Chardonnay, and you have to know the style of wine by tasting it, basically. They are very proud, they're very regional, and that shows how terroir-based this style of wine is, and how much the winemaker wants to extract the flavors of the soil, the flavors of the vineyard where the vines are grown. Yeah. So, on appearance, looking at under the wine here, the appearance, I can see a nice, beautiful lemon color. It's a pale to medium intensity. It's going up to medium. There's quite good color extraction over here. But I'm seeing signs of green. It's a 2017 vintage. This is 3 years old, and still I'm seeing green. Yes, a white wine is green in color when you make it. After 3 years, it develops into lemon. And after 6 years, it could develop even into gold. Then amber, and then brown, which is the finishing color of white wine and also red wine, which is also a result of oxidation. In order to have gold, amber, brown colors, the wine will be considered mainly as a sweet style of wine, which is also very good to drink, but we will come to sweet wines as we go along. But there's a sign of youth on that slight green tinge. Yeah, I think you can see a green color just right on the screen over there. But there are hints of lemon, so there is also signs of development of the wine. Yeah, but that green gives signs of youth. Fruitiness will come out for sure in the wine. Just by looking at it, you can already know what the style is going to be like. Yeah. When you swirl the glass, you can see that the legs and tiers are not so long. This is a 13% alcohol level of wine, and the legs are medium legs, meaning they go down not so slow, but a bit faster than wine of Bordeaux, and therefore this wine has a medium level of alcohol. That is, legs are always a sign of viscosity. It's a sign of alcohol. It's an indication that the alcohol is on the medium side at 13% ABV, alcohol by volume. On the nose, so let us swirl the glass. It's important that you hold the glass by the stem or by the base. Yeah, never hold a wine by your hand. White, red, or rosé wines are never held with their hand because the heat of the hand will literally speed up the temperature in the wine, and you won't have a pleasant result later on. It will literally decrease the temperature. Yeah? And white wines, this style of white wine, must be served at about 10 degrees. 8 to 10. Yeah? 8 in winter, 10 in the summer. Yeah? Why? Because it's going to have a very high level of acidity. And for acidity, you need cold temperatures. Not cold temperatures of a fridge at home. That's 4 or 5 degrees. That's too cold. You need a temperature that it is perfect to serve. And that is 8 to 10. Much colder than a cellar. When you take out the bottle from your cellar, which is at 15 degrees maximum, then you have to cool it down. And that is where maybe you have to invest in fridges of wine and maybe put it down at 8 to 10 degrees so that you can be satisfied when you come to drink it. It's always good that you hold a wine thermometer with you and you test the temperature of the wine with a thermometer. And take it out, clean it, and then you'll see if the wine is served at the right temperature. Yeah? Today there are thermometers which you can place on the bottle without opening the wine so that you can know the temperature where it is at. On the nose then, I can see that the intensity is extremely pronounced. That pronounced intensity is amazing because for Chardonnay is so neutral that it's so difficult to extract aromas. And I'm quite amazed on the minerality of the wine. I can smell like seafood in the wine. Yeah, oyster shells. Oysters are amazing. Yeah, gunflint. You know, when firing a gun and you're smelling that gunflint aroma, that's what it is, a flinty aroma. Immediately it hits you on the minerality quality. And that is coming, we said, from the Kimmeridgian clay era. Kimmeridgian clay, which is rich in chalk, limestone and clay, giving excellent drainage for the roots in order to delve down and deep into the subsoil and extract the nutrients. But it also gives that beautiful mineral quality that this wine deserves. Yeah. The fruit is based mainly on citrus fruit, typical lemon, limes, I get good grapefruit, slight nectarines, I do get them, just a bit of slight of peach, apricot, which is very, very unusual for a style of Chablis. It's not peachy at all, but there's that slight hint of stone fruit character that would really typify the type of structure that it has. This signifies that the wines were exposed well to the sun. One of the ways of extracting alcohol in viticulture is the use of slopes. We, in the French, call them cotes. A cote is a slope. If you face south, we are in the North Hemisphere, and if you face south, you will extract the heat from the equator. And if you are in Chile and Argentina, you face north to extract the heat. The equator is the north part of Chile. Yeah? But here in Europe, the south is definitely the heat. So face south, that's the aspect. And if you face east, you will extract the gentle warmth of the morning rising sun. But in Chablis, it is so cold. It needs more heat. So here in Chablis, they have amphitheater style of slopes, and that style of slope aspect faces west. Because when you face west, you will extract more the heat of the afternoon, the fierce afternoon heat, which needs much more alcohol. So one of the ways of extracting more alcohol is the use of good microclimates, and that is the use of aspect and slopes by the use of southwest facing slopes. Normally in France, like in Bordeaux, they face southeast because they have better weather down there in summer. So they would benefit just from the gentle warmth of the morning rising sun. But here they want more the afternoon fierce heat. And that is why we have that ripeness in fruit character and why the alcohol has reached 13%. There's always a reason for everything in wine, and that is always in the vineyard. Yeah, in viticulture, the art of growing grapes. That is where we get all the answers from. Yeah, everything happens for a reason in wine. Yeah, this wine has no use of oak, so all we are getting here are primary characteristics. Primary characteristics of citrus fruit, lemon, lime, grapefruit, slight hint of peach and nectarine, a lot of white flowers. Yes, I rarely say this for a Chardonnay, but white flower of slight hint of honeysuckle coming in. It is not florid, it is a non-aromatic grape, Chardonnay. but you get those hints coming from the soil area. Yeah, but lots of minerality, mineral stone, soil, earth. We get the gunflint aroma, flinty aromas, and also marine creature aromas typical of oyster shells. Imagine this wine to pair with seafood, mussels, prawns, lobster, and rich in fat. And that fat needs to be attacked by acidity. You need a wine which is so acidic to cut that fatness and that high level of cholesterol. We will see this now when we taste it on the palate. So let's give it a nice taste. Immediately, wow, both fruit and acidity are in line. But this acidity is so high and it is so intense that it makes your mouth water. Yes, that high level of mouth-watering acidity makes it refreshing. A lemony acidity, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting that lemony acidity will blend well with the lemon juice, poached salmon, a salmon with lemon juice or lemon dressing, a balsamic dressing. If the food is acidic, then you need a wine which is higher in acidity than the food, and definitely a chablis Premier Cru is the answer to that solution. If you have seafood like octopus, lobster, mussels, prawns, very rich in cholesterol and fat, you need a wine which cuts the fatness in the food, and definitely that is chablis. It is a pure example of what acidity means, yeah, of how acidity can be dealt with when you drink it with food. Therefore, if the wine is high in acidity, white wines will have a lesser body. So this wine, however, has a medium body style. It shows that the fruit character is quite intense, so that would classify it as medium. Normally, chablis are light-bodied in style because of the high level of acidity, but this is considered as medium. The wine is totally dry, bone dry, little residual sugar left. Residual sugar is sugar that has not been fermented by the yeast. Yeah, so this is only like 3 grams per liter residual sugar, and that means that the wine is totally bone dry. Yeah, body is medium, intensity is so pronounced on the palate, the fruit character coming out so much, but that level of acidity is just rounding this wine and making your mouth water. The flavor is the same as nose: citrus fruit, lemon, lime, grapefruit, slight peach, apricot. I get apple now, pears, Granny Smith green apples coming in. This wine was not subjected to malolactic fermentation, so this wine does not have a buttery or a creamy texture. This wine has a mineral texture, an oily texture that literally satisfied oily foods, frying, shallow frying, deep frying. Fish and chips is fantastic with this wine. A lot of oil and cholesterol in fish and chips. Definitely you need a wine that is higher in acidity, yeah, and it will do a very, very good job, believe me that. But green fruit, I get apples, pears. A finish is so long. I still taste that mineral quality coming in, that gunflint texture coming in, an oily texture, but that long finish meaning a better aging potential. To be fair on this wine will have a medium plus finish, but it's still on the high side. Yeah. So to conclude, this wine definitely is excellent. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's outstanding, but I think it is excellent. Well done to Piscopo for getting this wine. I never see this wine anywhere else, actually. My first time. I just got this one by coincidence, without me knowing, just because I wanted to deliver a Chablis. And it was the place that I just stopped with my car and just bought it and left to come back home and stay safe as much as possible. Yes, hands are always sanitized all the time, yeah, and I'm always trying to keep safe, and I hope you do as well. So why is this excellent, ladies and gentlemen? This wine is excellent because it has everything rounded up. Everything is in balance, we said. The acidity is very high, but it is not overpowering anything else. The fruit is in line with the acidity. The alcohol at the back doesn't burn at all at 13%. It is not felt. But it has signs of complexity and definitely expressive of terroir characteristics. Yeah, a wine that is super, a wine that has an aging potential of at least 10 years. So from 2017, that can go up easily to 2027. We are in 2020, so another 7 years, this wine can age better. And I think it will get better with age because the acidity level will go down a bit, and that will help maybe get out more the mineral quality out of the wine. Yeah, so this wine can benefit from cellar aging. Yeah, it's a wine that you can keep. It can go up even up to 15 years, in my opinion, this wine. Even up to another 5 years, that is 2032. But maybe that's for the Grand Cru styles. Yeah, but I would say, to be fair, with this wine, 10 years in all will be a good level of potential aging. Food. We've already talked about food, but to sum it up all, seafood, light dishes, poaching is very good, steaming, fish, white meat, chicken, pork, veal, uh, but no cream-based sauces. And cream-based sauces will give a bit of texture to the dish, and this wine has a medium texture, so you need a dish which is medium side. Yeah, cream maybe because the acidity can cut the fat in the cream. Yeah, but still the body of the dish can overpower a medium bodied style of wine, a medium minus body style of wine, this style. Yeah, because the acidity is so much on the high side. Definitely number one is seafood. Yeah, seafood will be the definite match for Chablis. Any type of seafood, those fish that walk in the sea, those not those that swim. Even those that swim, like salmon, tuna, it should be okay. They're quite oily as a fish, and the oily texture, fatness, can be cut by the acidity in the wine. But think of the method of cooking. I think that poaching, steaming will be the best forms for this wine. It could go very well with a salad, a fish salad, a smoked fish salad with a lemon dressing, and that fresh lemon juice combining with the lemony acidity in the wine, and I think it will be a perfect match. Yeah, so I gave you some good information, I think, on the wine, and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll go for wine number 3 tomorrow for the next session, and I'm awaiting your feedback to see what you think about these sessions. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening. Keep safe.